Well, hey, Mama. Jessica Coulter here. We are officially wrapping up our series about getting your college freshman ready. So, we are focusing on this idea of orientation, this idea of all these sports, all these activities, all these clubs that your team can participate in college. So before we dive into all of that, I like to ask a question to get you engaged, to find out more so I can help based on what exactly is going on in your child's life. Has your team chosen any activities for next year yet? If you've got a kiddo in college, going into college, what are those things, those clubs your teen is either looking for, excited about, or, even, discovered anything about? So let me know. Do you also know there's an awesome freebie waiting for you in the description, the homework buster? We'll talk about that later. And if we still haven't talked, you, me, and your team, there's a link to schedule a free talk with Jessie as well. Would love to meet, would love to find out how exactly we can get your teen ready for college. We've got younger kiddos, high school, or even middle school, through study skills. So definitely check out those links after the video. Definitely share your answer because I'm curious what's going on when it comes to these new relationships, these new friendships that your teen's going to make at college, and orientation and clubs, organizations. Perfect way to make some new friendships, to forge some new relationships. Now, I will tell you before we dive into orientation, like this whole freshman orientation that pretty much happens at every school, we do, or I do, I should say, want to let you know that if your teen wants to talk to other students at the college, maybe some friends, some family members, or even just like on a college visit, or, when college makes those calls that are like, hey, I'm a current student and, I want you to feel comfortable, or what questions do you have, however your teen wants to talk to other college students, that's totally okay. All right. I encourage your teen finding out from other current college students or very recent college grads, what are some of those things that helped me when I had a bunch of new friends? Or were those things that helped me when it was a whole new experience and I lived how many hours away from home and I knew nobody? Okay, definitely encourage your teen to talk to family, to friends, or to other college students at that college, or, even like I said, in the area, or even, local friends, whatever. Have your team talk to other college students. That's an awesome way because a college student is going to believe and, understand another college student much better than, say, possibly someone like me who's been out of college for, double digits, or someone, an adult that's been out for maybe 3 or 4 decades. All right. So that's tip number one. The next big tip I have for you, let's talk about orientation. So the thing is, the reason freshman orientation happens is college freshmen are new. All right. They're new to college, most likely, and they're definitely new to that particular college. So everyone at freshman orientation is going to be awkward. Everyone's going to be uncomfortable. And that's part of the reason colleges host orientation, is because they want to let everyone know, okay, these are the other new faces. So if you see this face, you see this person in a class, you see this person in the cafeteria, this person might be as lonely, as bored, feeling out of this place as you are. So encourage your teen, if you've talked at all about whether or not college orientation is worth going to, we want your teen to go. Okay. I got to tell you, me personally, I hated college orientation, but that was because it was August, and August is hot and miserable. And, I went to in college in Iowa, and, it's humid, not near as bad as Kansas, where I was from and have lived most of my life. But, I've never always been a big fan of those like team activities and the silly sports. And, some orientations, they're going to be best, or some are going to be really good, like a lot of fun, but some of them aren't going to be so good. But the thing is that I and your teen will walk away knowing, okay, these are the new people, and your teen will probably have a good idea through those maybe fun activities, maybe painful. My goodness, why did I have to do that activities? But your teen will know, okay, this person kind of vibes with me. Or, that girl, I don't think we're going to get along. Or he, I think we could be, roommates. We could, get along really well. I want to work with him on a project, okay? So orientation, definitely worth going to. We want your teens to go. because it could be fun, and most importantly, your teen's going to hopefully meet some new people that could be friends, could be allies. Okay, we want that to happen. We don't have to make our best friends at freshman orientation, but we also want to get a little more familiar with the campus, because we talked earlier this week about visiting campus. Well, maybe your teen does visit campus, maybe your teen doesn't visit campus, and all of a sudden is back on campus. Orientation is generally like less than a week before classes start. So this is like your teen's last other chance to really figure out what's where, and get familiar with like what stuff happens on campus. And this is the perfect place to ask questions, whether it's from another freshman or go to the academic building, the dorm, the whatever. Okay, so I want to talk about clubs and organizations here in a minute. Before I do, I just want to give a shout out to all the mamas out there watching. I am Jessica Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring and Study with Jessie. If you're here and you have a tween, a teen, or since we're talking about college students, I want to say thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel and my Facebook business page. If you have not subscribed, if you have not followed, would love to have you fix that right now by clicking that follow button and clicking that subscribe button, and then turning on notifications, so that way you don't miss next week's series, because we are going to be talking about getting ready for high school. We are going to be talking about getting ready for middle school. And I have so many other thoughts and videos ready to go. And always, if you have specific questions, that's where we're going to go. So definitely feel free to ask questions during these live videos, so that way hopefully I will see them and respond in real life, in real time. I don't know why I keep doing real life instead of real time. But anyway, I'm here. Thank you for being here. And make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. And let's talk if you've got questions about study skills. But let's talk about college organizations, college clubs. So 2 really big pieces of advice. If you're a college freshman, I guess I should say 3. So 3 big pieces. I had to look at my notes, because I always try to do my notes, so I stay focused. But number 1 piece of advice about organizations is we don't want your teen saying yes to everything. Like, we don't want your brand new college freshman to be involved in every single club, because there's going to be some kind of activities fair, and we want your teen to go. We want your teen to check things out, talk to like whoever is there, whatever presidents, founders, members, whatever. We want your teen to go and get kind of a good feel and figure out, what are the possibilities. And I can also tell you, though, that there's probably a list on the school website, and your teen will probably, if he hasn't already, get some kind of booklet with all the organizations. So definitely encourage your teen to check that out before the first day of school, so that way when the activity fair happens, your teen's already a little ready. Kind of has an idea of, this is the table I want to go to first. Okay? But anyway, so that's tip number 1. We do not want our teens joining every single possible club at college. That's just too much. Okay? The second big piece of advice I would give your teen when deciding what organizations to join is I would tell your teen to really limit it to 3. Okay, so for freshman year, if your child is, traditional age, so, right around 18, 19, this is brand new, being away from home, maybe college is really far away, maybe college is just, in town, whatever. We want your teen to focus on, I'd say, a max of 3. Okay. Now, the last piece of advice I want you and your teen to know about organizations is that there's a good chance there's going to be, 10, 20, maybe even 100, if not hundreds. And we want your teen to make sure we pick one of those organizations, those clubs, that has something to do with your child's major, okay, or child's career interest, something that's more than just fun, okay? And we want this, number 1, for networking purposes, okay, because there's a chance that, your teen will end up working with somebody in this group, or maybe that member knows somebody that your teen could work for, or, just mentor your child, okay? And then we also want it for the sake of it gives your teen a chance to meet people that are probably going to be in those same classes. Because if it's like I was an E group, which was entrepreneurship group, I was a business major. So I took, business classes. So it was nice to have people in that group that were in my classes, because, they were homework buddies. And also, especially since there were some older kids in the group, I knew kind of which teachers to look out for. I knew, oh, okay, this class is going to make this semester so much harder. Oh, I could put this class with this higher level science class because they'll balance each other out. Okay. So definitely encourage your child to join organizations at college, not only because of networking, not only because of fun purposes, but also hopefully that being part of these clubs will give your teen some new connections to the school and hopefully lead to some new friends that will make freshman year so much better and hopefully will even be an interest throughout the college experience. So those are the thoughts I want to share with you all, mamas, about your teen being in college, figuring out how to make friendships, figuring out, okay, how do I make some new connections through clubs, through orientation. So definitely thank you for watching. If you've got anything else you want to share, anything else I need to, maybe shed a light on when it comes to getting your college freshman ready, let me know, because I think we're going to call this a wrap on this particular series, unless there are some questions and I'm just totally ignoring things. But also, if we haven't talked, like I said, the links in the description. A free talk with Jessie, you, me, your teen. Let's talk about how your teen is doing when it comes to study skills, because I work with so many college freshmen that unfortunately crash and burn freshman year. And, on the academic side, it's just because the work is faster, the content's harder, and there's so much more required of your teen than a lot of teens are ready for. They're not used to having to do everything on their own and make all these decisions without a lot of support. So definitely, I'm here to help your teen get ready. So we'd love to talk. And do know if homework has been a problem, we should definitely talk, because there's going to be homework in college. And there's also my Homework Buster, which is 5 tips to bust through your teen's homework objections, available for you for free at the link in the description. So have an awesome day. We will see you next week for a series all about getting your high schoolers ready for freshman year high school. So bye, mamas. Thank you, and talk to you soon.